Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She is a fellow podcast host, Christian mindset coach, and of course, a best selling author and the author of these amazing books. No other than Miss Branden Lanette.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Daniel. I'm super excited for this conversation. I am obsessed with who people could become if they just stop outsourcing their life to trauma or comparison or excuses. I feel like most people aren't afraid of failing, they're afraid of responsibility. And I feel like that's kind of where the magic comes.
Yes, definitely. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge on wisdom to the world. Miss Brandon. Thank you. And today let's talk about or let's summarize all your five books. So tell us, reclaiming the bee. The word bee is central to your brand. It's a clearly reclaim it. What is the specific empowering definition of offering women that transform it from insult into a badge of strategic, unapologetic agency?
Well, I feel like for my entire brand, it's just always been about the realization that no one is coming to save you. So I could either, take on the victim mindset, or I could do what's required of me to step into my own potential. Because at the end of the day, I feel like we're kind of raised to believe in the fairy tale life, like someone's going to save us, hoping and praying and wishing that things get easier. And I had that realization one day where I just felt like it was super important for people to understand that no matter what, there's no point in life where you come to the road that's going to say, "Hey, you deserve this because you've had a hard life, so we're going to give this all to you." Like there's no gold star for your suffering. And so helping people take that massive responsibility to show them like this is all your perspective, your future, your choices, all of this is your responsibility. Your happiness, that's your responsibility. Um, so it started the B brand. We're going PG on this podcast, and that's a challenge for me, you guys. Um, but it is a term of endearment for me, so I don't want you to feel offended, you guys. I get it though. Facebook jail, Daniel, and the fact they've
Mhm.
already threatened you, it is not a fun place to be. But yeah, I just
Mhm.
wanted to create this brand because, even after I wrote Once Upon a Time Bees, that's the book where I really want you to stand up for yourself and become the hero of your story. Okay? Um then people would just be like, "You're so lucky," and all these things, and someone telling me I'm lucky actually used to make me so mad because I'm like, "You guys have no idea how hard I'm working and how hard I'm fighting. Every excuse that everybody has to not do something is every excuse I had to make it non-negotiable to get it done. It had to
Mm.
happen. My mom signed her rights off on me when I was 15 or 12, and then I emancipated as a ward of the state when I was 15. So I've literally been out in the world on my own, just crazy. Who trusted me with that responsibility? Um, I've been doing this since I was 15, and I don't have that patience to coddle people through their excuses. I think it's all crap. And so that's where the F Luck Bees book came in because it's not luck, but I do promise that the more you guys are willing to show up in your life and the more responsibility that you're willing to take, the more opportunities come and work in your favor. And that's just how it goes. It's God gives you a calling on your life, but you go first. He's not going to
Mhm.
drag you through it. He brought it to you. You prayed for it. He gives you ingredients. Now you have to do something with it.
Definitely. So the fairy tale framework. Once upon a time, B brilliantly reframes the fairy tale narrative. How does your approach uses the familiar structures of a hero journey to help women author their lives, while also dismantling the passive princess waiting to rescue trope?
Right. And that's just we were raised like that, right? Like every princess fairy tale that you see. um, is about a princess getting rescued by a prince. And the way I see it is that if Cinderella didn't get the courage to actually go to the ball, none of this would have happened. So she kind of stood up for herself first. And then it just so happened, right, that things worked out and she falls in love. But she had to go first. It wasn't like, the prince dropped out of the sky and suddenly rescued her from her life. She still had to make choices to ultimately save herself. And I it's so funny because I'm actually working on the trilogy for this brand, because all of that is cute, but I feel like anybody that's been with me from the beginning, we have grown up so much. And I only published this book, I think, like in 2021. um and I thought it was like going to be everything. I've always wanted to be a writer, wanted to be published, very exciting, right? And
Yes.
I published this book, and there's a hard reality out there for writers, is that you publish this book and then everywhere you go, there you are. Like, it didn't change who I was on the inside. It wasn't we're like always waiting for that destination. We're waiting to get there. It's that argument of like, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy if, and none of that's real. Like, every single day you wake up, you have a blank slate, and you get to create whatever it is that's going to come next. And I
Mhm.
feel like I'm kind of morphing that brand into like a little it's a little deeper level of maturity, and it's more about becoming now. Like, it's cool to start setting the boundaries and realize like no one's coming to save you. That's cute. Trying to figure out where luck fits in your life or if it even exists. And yeah, it's the harder you work, the luckier you're gonna get. I promise that every single time. Uh just coming through that, I'm very excited to kind of bring the brand into something a little more substantial and a little more mature. I'm
Mhm.
closer to 50 than I've ever been in my life. And so I feel like it's just the princess era is a beautiful start. It really is. But it's time to kind of bring that into focus of where we are now. It is a great starting place. If you're new to the brand, 100%. I mean, I tell the story of all the reasons that I shouldn't be here and all the reasons, that I shouldn't have any level of success. I mean, what are you going to do in life when the one person in the world that was meant to have your back and love you forever unconditionally? And I'm a mom of 6 kids now, so I know what that's like. They're my whole life. So you take that one person out of your equation, you're going your whole life thinking I'm not worthy of anything. If my mom doesn't want me, the whole world isn't going to want anything from me. I could have built an entire life on those excuses and being a victim.
Mhm.
But the truth is everybody has a story. Everybody's in the arena. And if you're willing to show up and keep getting up after whatever fight you've been in, just keep showing up. It morphs into this beautiful human experience, and that's what we're here for. We're not here for it to be easy. We're not here to skip the uncomfortable feelings. We're not here to skip the hard work, you know? That was the challenge. We make this bargain with God. I'm going to give you an opportunity to come here for your human experience. Is Can you remember who you are in my image? And that was our job. We just come here, we step into our potential. And every single day that you're falling victim to your mindset is a day that's wasted. And that's the stuff that breaks my heart. I see so many beautiful, talented people just wasted away because of their excuses. And I talk about those. The 7 maxims of becoming your own hero is in Once Upon a Time Bees. Um, a literal guidebook. If you just are sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's where you start. It's
Mhm.
where you start. It's this your mindset is the way that you govern yourself from the inside out. With your thoughts, with your beliefs and your expectations, and it's like a steering wheel, and this is the gas pedal of your life. And a lot of people just treat this kind of stuff like, oh, it's just, we want the good vibes and we want the journaling. No, we're all living real life. So let's be grown-ups. Let's take massive responsibility and
Yes.
understand that we want to be obedient when it comes to our calling. So,
Mhm. So let's talk about the evolution of the series. Your work spans from life design to Once Upon a Time B, to mindset, F, luck, to tactical planning, U, vision, book, journal, to specific skill, to social selling, B. How did the ecosystem evolve? Did you see a gap in a journey from vision to execution that you needed to fill?
I mean, yeah, it's that, in the F Luck B, which is my most recent book, that's that's the part where I just saw so many people, saying I got lucky. Um, I'll make this clear before I publish my book, and you can read this, read Once Upon a Time Bees. That's my origin story. I was given an ultimatum in my marriage that I could be a writer or I could be married, and I ended up going through a divorce. And it took a long time to get where I was going because I got rejected. I was rejected for books for 10 years. It took me 10 years to get a publisher to sign a contract for my book. So 10 years of people telling me, no, your writing's not good enough. You don't have a platform. Your voice isn't strong enough. This isn't for you. Find something else to do. 10 years and I didn't give up. And so the day that I actually got the call about the book and I had called her, I we had a phone interview with her and her husband. They were like, "We love your idea, but it is gonna cost you money because you don't have a platform." And so they gave me this dollar number and I'm like, "There's no way. Like, that's a cool fantasy, but, like, I have, 5 kids. It's just not financially responsible for me right now." They called me back a week later and they're like, "We couldn't sleep. We have to do this book, but you have to agree to a 2-book contract." So I went from getting rejected for 10 years, told no, lost a marriage, rebuilt my life from the ground up, starting with nothing but 4 kids. Um, Scrappy. I had to get scrappy and I had to get creative, right? So by the time that my second book comes out and I've already, took out the Dream Big Bees, I co-wrote a book with my publisher, Smart Bees by Bitcoin. We did a vision book, we did a like we did all these things before. So F Luck Bees is it's so hard not saying the word, you guys.
Yes,
It's
we want to apologize.
no, it's not you. I get it. I get social media is very picky. Um, so this book was that culmination of everything of people like you're so lucky. I went through a lot to get there. And this is all about like taking massive responsibility and it's non-negotiable, right? It's I had to take that massive responsibility. I did that and that's not luck. Did opportunity come for me after I took the first step? Yes. I continued to ask agents constantly. Like, will you publish my book? I queried publishing companies. 10 years of rejection, you guys. And it's kind of been beyond that. So, yeah, F Luck Bees was kind of that culmination of like, I'm really getting tired of people saying I'm lucky because
Hmm.
life is not about luck. It's not about chance. It's a very beautiful potential marked design, like a grand design. Everything in your life has happened for you up to this point so that you can step into your potential. And that's where you take that massive responsibility. That's where stop being just this little side character in your life story and you become the author of this. It's where your potential becomes the proof. And I get it. Like I'm obsessed with the potential, but it's that proof and everybody loves potential. It's important, it's intoxicating, it's flattering, but potential without responsibility is dead. And that's where you've got people that are just like bitter, they're full of shame, regret, resentment. Like I see it. I lived through it, you guys. I lived through it. And a lot of this I clawed my way out of. So this is why I push people. I'm not here to hype you up. I want you to wake up. And my brain just doesn't do the surface level. It doesn't do the lukewarm. So everything I do, I have a podcast, the Listen Be podcast. It's very abrasive. And that's, it's because nobody needs to be coddled.
Yes,
Potential
definitely.
matters because I see you wasting it casually and it's not casual. Nothing will change in your life and everything's going to hurt, right? Being uncomfortable hurts, but so does staying stuck. But staying stuck hurts even worse because now you're compounding this feeling of regret. And there is going to be a point where you don't get that clean slate the next day. You don't get to wake up and say, "Ooh, I get to try again." That's it. This is your internal command center of your life. And this, the new book that's coming out as soon as I decide to edit it, okay? This is it really is just bringing that responsibility to life where you stop lying to yourselves and you stop living beneath who you're capable of being. I'm
Hmm.
I'm not about hype. I think all the hype and the fluff and the toxic positivity and the woo stuff is just it's died out. Now we're here about responsibility. Like when you take ownership of your life, of your purpose, of your habits, of your consequence and your calling, that's when you actually see the transformation. It's not just good intentions. Most people think mindset is just like this little Pinterest quote that looks really cute, vague little glitter things, like it's the adult equivalent of just believe in yourself. It's really insufficient for actual life change, okay? Cuz real mindset is not about thinking positive. It's how you guys interpret that reality under pressure. It's what you do when it's raining or when your bank account is screaming or your body feels like trash and your emotions are tapped out. That's where the truth comes through. It's not the vision boards, but it's in the conflict, in the friction, in the follow through. So I know you're suffering right now. We're all in the arena. There is always going to be something. Life is never just going to be like, oh, pause here. Let me help Daniel get all of his things together. So nobody talk to him, nobody interrupt him, make sure the weather's exactly how he wants it. Don't let any background music impede on his thought process. Like the world doesn't pause for you. It doesn't. And so that's why it's my mission to make sure you know that it's going to suck. You have to embrace the suck. Do it anyway.
Embrace it, people, and live it. And well, for sure, perseverance and pivot. So, Miss Braden, as a best-selling author, what are your short-term and long-term goals, as well as a podcast host and Christian mindset coach?
My goals are to keep going, and that's why the brand I've got, it'll be the end of the Bees trilogy. It will be the end of the Bees trilogy because I have another book that's just going to be a whole different concept altogether. Um and that's kind of going to highlight just my relationship with Christ and what I've gone through, how much I've messed up to get there. Um and the podcast is growing. I love it. I love you guys. And if my listeners are listening now, thanks for jumping over here to support my friend Daniel on Abstract Essay for sure. I appreciate you guys. And if I have new listeners coming, I mean, it is my goal every single day, not to hype you up, but to help you get through this process. And my brain is neurospicy. It doesn't just like think one way. And I speak to people that are the same way. Like we have to have 20 tabs open in the background music or we're not feeling sane, and kind of how to help you navigate into your potential using that as a blessing, not a curse. Like there's a lot of stigma and labels in the world that are just like, I want to help you step into your potential using your brain specifically to work for you. And that's kind of where the mindset comes through. It's not an aesthetic, and that's what you guys can expect from me. I don't give you cute empowered self-talk. I am going to teach you guys the discipline of how you interpret life and then help you act accordingly. And the truth is, you guys, I call it a mindset coach because it's a blanket term, but like most people are not struggling with mindset. Like
Hmm.
you're struggling with responsibility, and nobody wants to talk about that. So my mission is just we are going to reject the victim mentality, and that's the new book that's coming out. It's called Becoming Bees. It's rejecting that victim mentality, refusing to live life waiting for someone else to fix or rescue or apologize or make things fair. It's not denial of pain or pretending that it has to be easy. I want to make it very clear. It's dark before it's inspiring. All of this is going to force you to confront the fact that your life is exactly what you have tolerated, avoided, justified, or quit on. Where you are now is 100% on you. That's on you. And no matter how much you want to argue for your limitations or that it's not, that is just your victim mentality
Mm.
screaming for more attention. And I understand, okay, but you have to make a decision to stop outsourcing your power. Victim mentality is so comfortable because it's protecting you from accountability. But then it traps you in that helplessness. I want you to be able to say like this is what happened, but this is what I'm doing about it. And that's what life should be like. My mom signed her rights off on me, and I can tell you today I'm 100% grateful. Like, I don't think there's a day that goes by where I'm like, man, I'm so glad she did that. I would never be who I was without everything that knocked me down in this life. So, everything that comes at me really hard, I know that God wants me to use that. Like, your mess is your message. So, every time I get the wind knocked out of me, I'm like, oh, I get it. And I survived it. And now I could turn around and tell people how I did it and that it's possible because there's so many people out there that just don't even know what's possible. Like, when is the last time you really just sat and reflected on your potential and what it means to step into your potential and to flourish and to grow and to make an impact? Are you living your human experience to the fullest, or are you playing it safe and just scrolling on Netflix and binge eating? Like, what are you doing? What are you going to do about it? There's only one way a person goes from surviving to choosing their life on purpose. That's it. And my mom signing her rights off on me is the origin story of everything. But you guys, I skipped the luxury of all the entitlement. Never in my life have I had that. And I think there's such an issue with that in the world today. Nobody owes you anything. There is no victim badge. There's no someone else will fix it. And I will continue that message on the brand. It is massive responsibility. People hurt us, but you don't get to give them the power by staying in your pain. I'm kind of a rebel. I don't want to give people the luxury of knowing they get to continue to hurt me, no matter what has happened. And I've been through a lot, trust me. You name it, I probably went through it. Okay.
Hmm.
So it's about turning this into your power. Pain is real, trauma is real, but you have turned it into a personality trait. And that's not going to serve you and it's not going to serve your purpose. I, I'm here to help you guys get through that.
Well, Miss Brandon, good luck to your goals and looking forward for more success. And what will be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you?
Ah, I would say my piece of advice, if you guys want to like me, is that the abrasive, the bold? I don't know to be
Yes,
like me.
being bold. We like that, Miss Brandon.
Yeah, so stop listening to your excuses and start turning your mess into your message. It's that easy. It's that easy. Little decisions every day are going to change the big things in your life, and you just have to start with one small thing. So, Daniel, it was an honor to be on the show. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for letting me speak to your audience. I
No
appreciate that, you
worries.
guys, for sure.
Mm. No worries at all, and thank you for that advice. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Uh, you know, it's I used to say The Secret was pretty big for me, and I feel like I've evolved and moved away from that. I feel like it was kind of part of the toxic era of my life, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've not transitioned into a book right now that has I can't name anything right now that I would put everything behind and say, "This is it. This is the book that you need," other than the Bible. Like, that has been the greatest tool that I've used daily. This is my 3rd year starting. That is the book. It's the only one I'm committed to and I'm following, and that's it. That's the book. The Bible. I'd say read it every day. It's like a weapon. It's like a love story. It's if you want to know how loved you are, that's where it's at. If you want a guidebook for life, that's where it's at. If you want to make sure that you're on the path of your potential, it's in the book. So that's the one.
Indeed, the Bible itself. Thank you so much for that recommended book, Miss Brandon. It's so powerful and impactful indeed. So, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season, abstract poetry in third season, and of course, my book 101 review in its sixth season as well, comedy 101 third season and My Food 101 and sixth season as well. Geography 101, Love Letters, Movie 101, Review Music 101, our fifth season. Science 101, Sex 101, fourth season. Trivia 101, Law 101, Mental Health 101, Motivation 101, Entrepreneurship 101, and of course, Bible Verses 101 are my baby podcasts. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Braden, tell us, if you could grant every woman listening one universal piece of permission from our entire body of work, what would it be?
You don't owe anybody anything. That's it.
Definitely. That's it. So powerful, Mr. Brandon. And thank you so much again for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your podcast, your books, or any projects that you're doing right now?
Absolutely. BrandenLanette.com is going to be the website you can go to where you will find the link to the podcast. You will find the books to be able to purchase. They are on Audible and Amazon. And then ways to work with me are in there as well. My podcast is on YouTube. I would love that. I'm building YouTube. I'm new to it. So I would appreciate if you guys go over there, subscribe, support. It's BrandenLanette.listenB podcast on YouTube. And my podcast is on Apple or Spotify. So I appreciate you guys so much. Daniel, thanks again. This has been fun.
You are most welcome, Miss Brandon. And I have one more question. Beyond revenue and followers, what are the quieter, more personal metrics you see women in your community to use their own design is working? What does success feel like on the inside?
I mean, success is going to be different for everybody. And that's a great question because I feel like you guys, we're influenced by what other people think success is. And if we don't have it, we think we're not doing enough. But if you wake up every single day, you can look at yourself in the mirror and you know that you've contributed. Like every podcast episode I do, I'm like, yes, I spoke to that one person that God wanted reach that day. You look yourself in the mirror and you sleep good at night and you know that you're leaving a legacy for your kids that you would be proud of, that your grandkids are going to say, wow, she really did that. That's success. It's not what anybody else thinks it is. It's where you just have that calm brain and heart coherence and you don't stress about it anymore. You don't question. Your nervous system isn't constantly in fight or flight. You just have this incredible peace and you move in that direction. That's how you know that you're succeeding.
Miss Branden Lanette, thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
More to come, people. See you soon.